Hey, hello everybody. So if you could drop your or raise up your thing a little bit. There
Right
we
here?
go. There we go.
There we
Get
go.
the I don't try, if I can't see this part of your brain, I don't know what you're thinking.
Yeah, I know. It's
Oh.
like I have no top head. Could be a hole there.
Right, somebody with a funnel just pouring thoughts into
Yeah,
it.
pour it in.
Yeah. So was it yesterday we saw each other? No,
Sunday we saw each
Sunday.
other
Today's Tuesday.
two
That's
days
right.
ago. I know it feels like yesterday.
Yeah, so you had just come off a real interesting meet, and then we sort of crashed the reducitarian uh, afternoon. So anything in there you want to share with people?
Well, I really liked the summit. Like it was really like fun to meet people that are really like, game changers that are like finding like really interesting ways to like help the environment and like using the resources that we have to create products out of that. Like it was fascinating just to see like the spoon. Like that's like my so this guy like invented this spoon that you can eat. Like it was amazing.
Right. It's such a like you figure like okay, so it took him a few weeks or months to like figure out the recipe, but it's not like high tech or anything.
No, I mean it was just this like I mean and it kind of looked wooden, right? But then you're eating it, it's like a really hard graham cracker or
Yeah.
something. I'm waiting to try it with because he gave me one, so like I want to try it with ice cream when I get that, like whatever that is, right?
Hmm.
I'm gonna have that. I might have to do a whole video on how now I didn't have to throw my spoon away.
Right. You just get a bunch of them and just walk into the Ben and Jerry's and get your vegan ice cream, and when they offer you the spoon, you like self-righteously brandish your own
Yeah.
chocolate
And
spoon.
make sure that I eat it in front of everyone so they're like, "What?
Yeah.
This girl just ate her spoon." Yeah, so that was really cool. And then we had a really great lunch and that was really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was good.
So what'd you learn from your meet on Saturday?
So, there were several things. Sometimes, when you have it all in your head that it's gonna go, a certain way, some curveballs can get thrown in there, and even if they get in there, it's just a matter of testing you to see, where you can go from here. And so for me, like it's just really about like slowing down more and just really like focusing in the moment. Like and I was able to do that, but I had some traffic and things that I kind of hit and I had to I got to the meet like 8 minutes before I had to like dive off and like I'm not gonna say that I wasn't like panicking in my head, like, oh my God, like am I gonna get there? And like I really wish that I could fly, there were a few things that I wanted to or swim there, like there are a couple things. Like I felt like being in a car in that moment was just really dense for me, It's like,
Hmm.
like I want to be already there. But it was cool because then like I was able to literally hop in, my goggles filled up with water. I was uncomfortable, but I was still able to have a solid race and get first place. So, even if like the things are kind of chaotic, you can still push through and make it work.
Hmm. So I think I'd like to kind of pick up on that because I was just coaching someone today. And the central issue turned out to be, and it was about food and giving into cravings. But the central issue, and this is something that I have experienced my whole life and I've been working on very intentionally for maybe the past 8 or 9 years, is the fact that I rush around all the time. And rushing around isn't just, it feels like it's all about efficiency and responsibility and productivity, but it's really like I feel like I'm in this time scarcity. I just don't have enough time. Like I was born with 23 hours and 50 minutes a day. Like,
Yeah.
I got to make up 10 minutes. Everybody else has this extra 10 minutes. I don't know where the hell it comes from, but I don't got it. And I got to go hustle my ass off to make up for it. And I felt like my entire life, I felt just behind. Like wherever I am, I should be 5 minutes or 10 minutes ahead of where I am. And I'd have that, at the grocery store, I'd have it driving. Um, I was like always feeling like I was late and rushed. And working with this client today, like this feeling, um, it's you don't really notice it. It's not like overt, but it is like fight or flight, and it is like there's danger here. I'm in the wrong place. And I was wondering if if that's something you have experienced, and if something happened during your car ride that you were able to let go. Because like for me, being like late for something really important and not being able to get there, like the feeling of not being in control, can be crazy making.
Yeah, totally. And I've been really like I work with this all the time because even for me, like you were explaining, like I'm always like, "Oh, I got to go here," and da da da. And it's like, "No, I don't actually have to do anything." But what I found was that like in that moment, like, I was aware that like the more that I worried about like what was happening, like all of a sudden like more traffic was coming. Like I was able to observe that I was actually creating more of the traffic when I was like worrying. Like all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, we got to get there, and then it's like there's more that's just happening in my reality. The moment that I was like, you know what, I'm going to put my head down here. You guys are the drivers, I'm going to just sit and relax. Then all of a sudden we were there.
Hmm.
And so that's what I mean, and I keep having to remind myself this because, I mean, the human, right? It's automatic. Like if we've done it for so long, it's like, even if you've had this experience, like you still want to go back and say, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be late or I don't have enough time. Or even today, so my friend was bringing me to the gym. And so then all of a sudden, like I felt like I couldn't get my workout in because what if my friend leaves me and da da da. And I caught myself saying like, everything is working out for me. It's all good. He's gonna pick me up. Everything's fine. But like those like thoughts just like come up because it's just a habit that I have had. And until I can just catch it in the moment and keep catching it in the moment, that's how I'm going to be able to not have it as often. It's breaking a habit that's been something that's.
Yeah, and for a lot of people, I think a great solution to that problem is to eat something, right? And I'm being facetious, of course, but it feels like the solution. Like, oh, I want to be productive, so I'll consume, right? And
Yeah.
it makes that feeling go away. Like, like there's this sort of free floating anxiety. Well, I can do something. I can make this bowl of something disappear, right? I can plow through this box of crap.
Yeah.
And just and so telling yourself like in that, like it's not that, oh, I wish I would stop having these thoughts. It's like I'm now looking forward to those thoughts. Like, oh, look at me. I'm online at Costco and there's three people ahead of me with giant baskets, and I'm like, oh, this could take like 8 minutes. This would be the worst thing in the world. Right. Or I
Yeah.
can't remember exactly what you said when we were driving. We got into some traffic with everybody. We were all going to the restaurant, and then the restaurant turned out not to exist anymore.
Yeah.
We like pull up and it's like a boarded up thing. And you were like, oh, you said some like really positive comment like, oh, isn't it great that I forget
Got
exactly.
to Well, I think it was just like that we got to like experience like all these people like that we were going that like all of them were there with us in that moment as we went there. So we wouldn't have seen all that, you know, all like the different signs and the cars and all those things because and these are the things that we miss when we're focused on, oh my gosh, like we didn't get that, where are we going to go, what's going on, and we kind of like kidnapped you too, right? So you had no control of time anymore.
Right, right. We were like, we really want to get on the road quickly so we don't have to drive in the dark. We have a 5 hour ride home. And
And
then
we're like, okay, we're going to take you to Virginia, which is closer to your home. But now we're going to take you back the other way to Virginia, and then you can go.
right. And it was, yeah, there was just this. And then when we left you guys and we got on the road, like the first thing Google Maps tells us is like the route that it planned, like, there's an hour-long delay due to a crash. We're like, okay, I guess that means that Google wants us to see, country roads. And like,
Uh-huh.
here's the thing, like rationally, I don't necessarily believe you when you say as soon as you stopped worrying about the traffic, it dissipated. Like for me, like that's a hard thing to believe. And
Uh-huh.
and yet what I would say is like if you can believe it, even if it's not true, it's better to believe that. It's better to believe that lie than to be right about the other thing. Right? Just because feeling like you're always exactly where you're supposed to be means you don't have to compensate with bad behaviors.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you kind of it's like you trick yourself to thinking that everything is good, and so then you're not like thinking of like that craving that you want or worrying that you're not going to be where you want to be because, and then I experienced that when like I still wasn't calm when I hopped on the block. Then I needed a full goggle, to
Uh-huh.
not be able to see for me to like get it like okay, and then the next event that I slowed down, I focused, and I only thought about literally the plan. I break a meet record, So it's like, okay, like here's the shift, One, I can worry and have these like things happen, or I can just like be present and know that, I'm in control and I'm going to be able to do whatever's going to happen.
Right. Oh, yeah. And that was the other thing is that you did set a meet record, which means no one in your age group has ever swum that race faster at that meet.
Yes.
Right. Something gets written down in permanent marker with your name on it. Right.
Yes, yeah. So then in the next meet, like my name will be meet record, and then if someone beats it, then my name is erased, But my name is there because that race isn't going to be there for another year. So I at least have the meet record for 1 year.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's funny because we're talking about rushing. And of course, your event is all about being the fastest. Like, when you're racing, do you feel like you're ever rushing or do you know what I mean? Like, is rushing
Yeah,
different
yeah.
from racing?
Well, I will say that most of my swimming career, I was rushing. Like if you're thinking about something outside of you, right? Like even when you're in traffic or you want to then eat something or someone's in line, like all these things are really outside of you. But then when you start to tune into yourself, and like that's what I really like about this coach is because by him giving me a plan of like be the color blue, be the color yellow, be the color green, like here's the plan, like I couldn't think of anything because I was so focused on being the color that it allowed me to just really just be, and that's how I was able to do it. Like I've always thought about like, oh, I got to get this time, and like what happens is like you then are like stressing, right, about like and then your body actually isn't able to do it because now you've like created this resistance within your body that now it's like almost stopping you from getting to where you want to go.
Yeah, it's very similar to the martial art that I do, where the practitioners who are really good when they will strike or push, what they're trying to do is use as little muscular tension as possible that isn't completely necessary. So we got to keep the wrist from bending so we don't break our wrist. And we got to keep the hand, closed so the fingers aren't splaying out. But short of that, we're taught to imagine holding like your forearms like a couple of pounds, 2, 3 pounds. Imagine if it were a hammer. Like how hard would you have to swing a hammer to like hit something? And
Yeah.
and and if you tried to grip it really tight, you'd actually have less than if you're simply being free.
Uh-huh. Exactly. And that's like similar with your thoughts, allowing your body to catch up to and kind of be in alignment with everything flowing, because if everything is moving in this like really lovely like rapid, right, or wave, there's going to be turbulence and things that try to stop it, but the more that you let go and release, the easier it actually is.
Yeah, this one time I was in a hot air balloon.
Wow.
Mia and I were given a wedding present by the school where we taught, and it was a surprise hot air balloon ride. All they told me was like wear long pants, so I had no idea what it was going to be. And I was real. The thing that amazed me was it was utterly silent. Like you think you're up there and you're going to hear the wind because we're basically being blown by the wind, and we were going really fast, but it was utterly silent and there was no jittering, there was no turbulence, and it's
Wow.
because like we were the wind. Like there was no resistance to the wind. We were just woof, floating along, and I remember how surprised I was that even in a very sleek airplane or driving a very sleek car, there's still resistance, but here it was the wind doing all the work, and therefore we were able to just experience it as pure flow. It was almost like we were utterly still within that really efficient motion.
Yeah, that's exactly. And that's what I'm experiencing in my swimming now. And I mean, there's still like the mind and everything still wants to get involved, right? And want to be like, "Oh, we're going to worry a little bit here and we're going to learn this lesson, and then oh, okay, we're going to like be in flow and do that, and then okay, we're going to go back in our head and and play that game again, and then okay, we're going to go back over here and and do that. But I mean, it's like, it's a fun little game, right? The more that you understand that it's a game and you're playing it and you're making it and, and it's like, okay, like, here's what it is.
Yeah, it's like if we stop playing the game, we might stop being human.
Yeah, exactly. We wouldn't be human anymore. That's the point of being human, is to play this game and help others along the way to understand it more and not take it so seriously, and have fun with it.
Right on. All right. Well, I know you've got a nap in your future.
I do have a nap in my future. I've had a very long day of training, but I got it done. Like this was another mind game, just really quick, that, I had that really great race. I had a rest day, hung out with you on Sunday. And then Monday comes and I'm like my body is like pretty, tired. I did like a lot of racing, I had 5 races in one day after 6 weeks of hard training. So I'm not going to say that I didn't feel it, but I definitely had to like really talk myself and understand that, this is temporary, and what I'm building and what I'm striving for is going to last a lifetime. So I got it done.
Right
So
on.
nap away.
All right. Enjoy your nap. Thank you, everybody, for
Thank
watching.
you.
I'll talk to you
Thank
again next
you.
week.
Okay, see you.
Bye.
Bye.